Live from Lincoln Center is making available to you, our viewing audience, tonight's official house program for Luciano Pavarotti's gala concert. To receive your free copy, simply send a postcard with your name and address to Lincoln Center, New York, New York, 10023. This is a special edition of the house program that has been distributed to the audience assembled here in Avery Fisher Hall. It features program notes, photographs, informative articles, and profiles of Luciano Pavarotti and his guest artists for this evening's concert. Again, to receive your free copy of this program, send a postcard with your name and address to Lincoln Center, New York, New York, 10023. This program is made possible by a grant from Exxon. Exxon, quality you can count on in the performing arts. This program is also made possible by grants from the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, the Robert Wood Johnson Jr. Charitable Trust, the National Endowment for the Arts, and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Welcome back. During this intermission, we found some of the stories they've been telling very interesting. I hope you have as well. You saw the national underwriters. We also at this time want to take just a moment to thank the fine people at Pioneer National Bank in Yakima for helping to make this program, the Great Performances Series, available here in Yakima. But you know, Paul Campbell, the president of the bank, and the others there would be the first to tell you that to get this kind of quality programming takes much more than they alone are able to provide. Isn't it interesting to hear the kind of challenges that singers really face? It's not as easy as standing in the shower and singing. It's not just being born with a great voice. It's the work and the dedication and the discipline and the courage to make those sounds. I think when we get back to the next aria, we will have a better appreciation for what those people are putting on the line as they literally lay themselves bare before us to sing those songs. What a tremendous challenge to them, and what a joy to us. I think it's the height of an evening's pleasure to hear this kind of music. To me, it's almost the closest thing to a spiritual experience to hear that. I don't know, what is it to you? What does this great music mean to you? We're here at KYVE tonight to encourage you to join with us in this celebration of our great programming, to give you an opportunity to express your appreciation for classical music. As Ginger Hislop said in the first break, our chairman of our board, we know that the audience for this music is not as large as for some types of music, but it's very important that we be able to bring this to you here in Yakima. Maybe you're like I am, that you can't afford to go to Lincoln Center to this performance. Not only the ticket of $45 or more, but the plane fare to get there. Think about how important it is to have it right here on your own television set here in Yakima. Think about it as we talk to some of our guests that are with us this evening. Marilyn?
Right. I'm sitting here with Connie Bloxham, who's a board member of KYVE, and Doug Polk, who sings with the Symphony Chorus, and I'm sure you've seen him in performances at the Warehouse Theater. Connie, what's your reaction to tonight's program?
Just one of thorough enjoyment, Marilyn, and I am really eagerly anticipating the second half of the program. That this is TV worth watching. I think it's also TV worth paying for. You know, there's no such thing as free TV. If we want to keep this kind of program on the air, we have to be willing to support it with our donations and our memberships.
That's right, and we're hoping people will help us celebrate the kind of programming that they enjoy here on KYVE by calling in a pledge to 457-3100.
Well, since this is a celebration, I think I should propose a toast here. To all the current members of KYVE, all of you who have been supporting this program and many other programs, thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying this program as much as we are here.
Yeah.
KYVE is one of the most watched public television stations in the country when you consider the size of our community. And we like to think around here that good things come in small packages, and we're very proud of our station and our programming. Much thanks to Marilyn. We do need more members, and I'm inviting you now to join us, and I will tell you the different donation levels that we are encouraging membership. And the $500 level is the benefactors, the $250 is Leaders Circle, the $180 is the Believers Club, $120 investors, $60 is the family membership, $36 is the basic membership, and $15 is the senior citizen membership. We hope that you will join us in one of these membership levels to support the kind of programming that we're having tonight.
So do that. Please give us a call right now. We've got telephones here on the table. They're kind of hidden, but they're right there, and our guests would very much like to take your telephone calls. Program costs are going up, but one of the things you noticed is that there's a lot of different levels, a lot of different support. Corporations support this kind of programming, but they only support it if we are also supporting it here. These programs are very, very expensive. We really only pay a small portion of the cost, even though it seems like quite a bit to us here as a small station. But because there are all these other costs and all these other supports built in, we are able to have programs like we're watching tonight. But your call, your membership dollar, is really very, very important. Jeff?
Marilyn, you tell us the story and you make it sound so nice, and yet those of us who are involved in the development, Marilyn puts the schedule together and then says, Jeff, can you pay for it? But that's kind of the way we work. The program costs just continue to escalate, and they've gone up so much faster than other sources of support recently, and that's why we have to keep coming back to you. The Statons are with me, David and Suzanne, and I think you have some questions about public television.
Well, Jeff, what are the differences between commercial and public television funding? We know that the federal government is talking about cutting back aid to the arts and communication, but can't you get sources from the state government?
Well, that's an interesting question, David. All across the country, state support is the #1 source of support for public television stations, and in the state of Washington and 4 other states, only 5 states where there is no support. So we start from a basis a little bit lower than what we would be in 45 of the 50 states, so that makes it a little tougher for us.
How do we rank as a public television station as to size compared with others?
We are one of the smallest. Suzanne, you want to take that while we're... I meant to turn that off. We are one of the smallest public television stations. Okay, sometimes people just call to say they are enjoying the program. I'm going to turn it sideways so we won't be bothered again while we're talking here. But we have been able to provide a good level of programming because we have had generous support. Everything begins with membership dollars. If we have strong membership support, then the federal money we get comes in a matching grant on a percentage. So it all starts with membership support. And, of course, to attract grants and to attract corporate donations, it depends on the fact that we have a good membership base.
Well, in commercial television, obviously the sponsor pays to have his thesis projected. How do we fund the public side, and what's the motive?
There's a totally different philosophical basis for public television programming. Commercial television, and as marvelous as it is, it's designed to take an audience to the advertiser, to get the biggest audience, and they do very well at that. And I'm sure all of us here watched some programs on commercial television, and I worked in it for many, many years. Public television is designed to bring a program like the one we're seeing tonight to you. I don't know how many of you are out there, but we know that probably that there would be more people watching some other kinds of programming. But we are making progress. Suzanne, how are we doing? What did we get in that first break?
We have collected $555. We have $2,455 to go tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We've taken in $280 towards the Robertson Challenge, and we have $2,220 to go on the Robertson Challenge.
Let me mention again, the Robertson Challenge, for those of you who are new members to KYVE or who have been lapsed and are renewing your membership, Ted and Bill Robertson have said they will match your pledge dollar for dollar at $60 or more if you'll pledge in that amount. And they pledged $20,000 for that, but they were smart enough to say our $20,000 becomes $40,000 if we do it this way, and we still need, as Suzanne said, $2,220 to reach that. We want to reach $3,000 in total pledges tonight, and unless we get those phones ringing, I'm afraid we're not going to get as many as we'd like to have. We have, all of our phones are open right now and available for you. It's kind of an interesting change for us to allow many of our guests to talk to you more than Marilyn and I, to keep us from being so heavy-handed as it sometimes seems. You know, we don't enjoy that any more than you do, but we have to have the dollars to pay for the programs. And as Marilyn said, it's not next week's program that we're worried about, because those have already been paid for from last year. It's next year and the year beyond that. Some of the programs that we will pay for coming from the pledges that you are calling into us now may not be seen on the air for 2 years, 3 years, because it takes a long time to develop those. Kind of like making wine. It has to age as we reach to find those high levels of support. Please call. Marilyn?
Right. We've got, let's see, we have, I think, most of our phones going. We have one now available. We do hope that you'll call in. That pledge support is so important to keep programs like this. As we mentioned earlier, we know this isn't the hugest audience for programs like this, but it's a very supportive audience, and we very much want your telephone call right now, because that $500 benefactor pledge, and we have a few of those. We have a number of people in our leaders circle. Won't you consider that $250, that $500 pledge? Jeff, you wanted to come back over to you?
I wanted, before we got through, Suzanne has the list of people who, some of those who called in with pledges last time. Suzanne, will you read those for us quickly?
Mr. T.K. Croft from Yakima, Jerry and Susan Lakai from Yakima, Drapery Masters, Yakima, Helen Mary Holt, Yakima, Margaret Melton, Wenatchee, Rosemary Yannicke, Yakima, Wells Lamerton, Yakima, Philip Noon, Grandview.
Marvelous that we have that support. As Marilyn was saying, call at any level. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Marilyn. You were on a roll, but I wanted to get those who said, yes, you may use our name. If your friend pledged, won't you? Will you call us at the Leaders Circle level? Which one of you will do that? How about the benefactors level? Got a special for you. You know, on January 23rd, we're going to have a very special event here in Yakima when Charlene Hunter-Gault, the chief correspondent for the McNeil-Lehrer News, comes to our celebration banquet at the Convention Center in Yakima. Join us at the benefactor level. We'll throw in 2 free tickets to the banquet. How about that? Marilyn?
Right. And again, we have, let's see, we've got our telephone here at our table available, so why don't you give us a call, 457-3100. We're going to be going back very shortly to Pavarotti Plus. There's some interesting things coming up. Interestingly enough, I thought I was going to be able to tell you what was coming up next, but the program that we have got changed, as any live program would, because Simon Estes, who had originally been scheduled, got sick, and he is not here, and they have done some substitution, but I think you're going to enjoy the rest of the program, and you can call in while we're watching. We'll take your call, but now let's go back to Pavarotti Plus. We'll see you shortly.
And once again, we're back in Avery Fisher Hall, live from Lincoln Center, to bring you the second part of this Gala Pavarotti Plus program, in which Luciano Pavarotti is joined by 8 distinguished young American singers, along with Emerson Buckley conducting the New York City Opera Orchestra. I don't want to belabor the point, but that